Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Since this game has been released in 2023, teams that rely on counters as source of damage output are not very popular with players. But that just means there's room for new and exciting teams to emerge. This is evident in the variety of teams used in MOC and also in Pure Fiction. Most players will definitely use characters that are currently meta because honestly, characters that have been released more recently tend to have better kits compared to characters that have been around since this game was released. One of the most popular characters today is Acheron. Who doesn't love Acheron? Acheron has very good kits and can do a lot of damage. But this could change a bit with Yunli. Yunli will bring kits related to super counters, which could create a new meta team, the counter team. Without further ado, let's do this.
Do you have a character or weapon in the game that you really want but you don't have enough stellar jades? Here is a smarter way to recharge your favorite games like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. Look no further than Loot Bar. Loot Bar is the most reliable top-up platform, saving 20% for all orders compared with the official channel, and an extra 5% off for your first purchase. It's 100% safe as you will only be using your UID. We will buy a pack for 3,000 stellar jades for $42, which otherwise would have cost $50, totally saving $7.5. We received the crystals we purchased in less than 3 minutes. All recharge will be done through the official channel with miHoYo, which allows you to enjoy all top-up offers. Ready to level up your gaming experience? Check the link in the description to get the amazing discount.
Okay, now we are going to move on to chapter 1, which is the variety of teams used in the game. So far, there are many different team combinations you can use in Honkai Star Rail. There are probably hundreds of combinations. But among all these combinations, there are 6 types of teams that are generally used by most players today. The first one is Break Team. This is a new type of team that appeared in the 2.2 update. Led by a Harmony main character, this team relies on the damage that is caused when the enemy suffers from the broken condition. Some of the characters that make up this team are Gallagher, Ruanmei, Harmony main character, Firefly, and also Boot Hill. The next team that is often used by most players is this single follow-up attack team. This team is actually still one type with other follow-up attack teams, but the team combination is more likely to use characters with single target abilities. Some of characters that make up this team are Dr. Ratio and Topaz. Next up is the AoE follow-up attack team. Just like the previous team, the AoE follow-up attack team focuses on characters with follow-up attack abilities, but tends to focus on characters with area of effect abilities. Some of characters in this team is Hera and Himeko, of course. Next up is Diotis team. This team is used very often in various content in Honkai Star Rail. The uniqueness of this team is that it can deal a lot of debuffs to the enemy. Some of the characters that make up this team are Kafka, Black Swan, Sampo, Luca, and Guinevere. This team is another type of team that has only appeared in the last few updates. Due to the need for multiple Nihility units in the team, this team is called a Nihility team and uses a character named Acheron as the core of the team. Currently, this team is a meta that is widely used by most players out there. Some of the characters that make up this team are Acheron, Pela, and Silver Wolf. And the last one is the basic team. Why did I call it the basic? Because there are too many variations of this team, but there are some similarities. The similarity is that this team has one main DPS, one support, one sustain, and one sub DPS. Some examples of characters that can fit into this team are Jingliu, Danheng, Blade, and Argenti. Okay, now let's move on to chapter 2, which is all about counter teams. Having heard my explanations of the different teams that most players use in this game in chapter 1, You know that there is no such thing as a counter team. What I mean by a counter team is a team that really relies on counters as the main damage of the team. Even if we go to pratwen.gg, Clara, as one of the units that relies on counters as its main damage, is used less than 20% by most players in MOC and Pure Fiction. Why does this happen? Actually, I personally understand why this can happen. Firstly, counter damage has a pretty good damage output in this game. But the biggest weakness of a team that uses only counter units is certain characters have to be attacked by the enemy first. This has its positives and negatives. On the positive side, when we face enemies with high speed, the more often the enemy attacks, the more damage we do. On the other hand, if we face an enemy with low speed, our damage output will decrease because we are waiting for the enemy to attack first. For this reason, counter teams are used very rarely in this game, as this team has the biggest weakness that is currently unfixed. Also, the limited number of characters that can counter is very small compared to the other characters with certain kits. It is clear that the most players prefer to form other, more flexible teams that can be used in any mode. Okay, now we move on to chapter 3, which is Clara. Why am I talking about Clara? Because Clara is the base character and arguably the most prominent character to use the counter kit in this game. Since this game was released last year, you could say that Clara is one of the best standard 5-star characters at the moment and arguably can still compete with some of the latest 5-star characters today. Clara is basically a very good unit. She has a high damage ceiling, she can hit single targets and AoE targets at the same time. She is a very durable DPS character and most of her damage is outside of her turns, which means she makes a good use of buffs. In fact, Clara can generally be used with other characters with slightly different equipment. So why is Clara rarely used by most players in this game? According to information from pratwen.gg, the percentage of players using this unit is very low, even below 20% in MOC and Pure Fiction. So why is this happening? As I mentioned in the previous chapter, the biggest weakness of a unit that has counter kit is that the character has to wait to be attacked before it can deal damage. This is very inconvenient, especially if we face enemies that are slow and not aggressive. Our damage output will be greatly reduced. In essence, Clara is a good and reliable unit, but at the moment, with the increased types of enemy we face in the latest version, Clara cannot be used as the main character to penetrate the new content. At the moment, Clara can only be used in some specific content, but not much. Okay, now we are going to dive into chapter 4, which is all about Yunli. Yunli is a character who has been confirmed to be released in the upcoming version 2.4, along with a character named Jiaoqiu. I've been keeping my ears to the ground and have heard some pretty exciting things about Yunli. It is rumored that she has a kit that is related to counters and has the ability to provide a barrier to other characters who are active in battle. And I also got some great info from Ubacha, one of our top sources. The kit Yunli uses is a combo kit of Blade and Clara. And the best part, she has a totally unique kit, the Super Counter, which has never existed before. Okay, now that you know about the kit from Yunli in general, let's dive into the world of the kit. I'm so excited to share my predictions about what's to come. In chapter 2, I talked the limitation of the current counter teams, but I also highlighted that Hoyoverse has big plans for the future. They are creating a new meta team, the counter team. And the perfect pioneer for this team is Yunli. Her super counter kit is going to be a game changer. It will cover all these shortcomings of the previous counter teams. In Dream Recording version 2.4, we get to see Yunli in action. And it's not just any old appearance, it's a game changer. Yunli has the same type and even path as Clara, which is no coincidence. Hoyoverse is clearly planning to release Yunli to boost the value of Clara as a whole. It's not out of the question that the combination of Yunli and Clara could give the current meta a run for its money. There's even a rumor that there is a new system in the works that could just as important as super counter. So, just how important is this super counter mechanism? It is clear that it's going to be a game changer for counter teams in the future. Just as a super break can open a new gap to produce enormous damage, it's very likely that a super counter will do the same. This new mechanism is going to be a game changer for the damage counters produced by the team, making them more optimal than ever before. Now for the next exciting chapter, Chapter 5, the possible combinations. As we talked previously, with the presence of Yunli who brings the latest super counter mechanism, there will be several types of combination that can be included in the team. Some of characters that are most likely to be used in the team are first Robin. Robin is one of the best support in this game. She can increase overall damage and her ultimate ability can provide quite a lot of additional damage to all party members every time they make an attack, be it a normal attack or the type of counter attack that Clara has. Apart from her passive, she can increase the follow-up attack damage produced by party members, so she's the biggest candidate to become a suitable support for the counter team in the future. Next is Aventurine. Aventurine is another fantastic choice for a counter team. Currently, Aventurine is one of the best sustained character in this game. With a very thick shield, he makes it so that almost all the characters in the party don't take any damage at all. Aventurine is the perfect counter team character. His kit is ideal for his role, with a soft counter mechanism that can return the damage received in the form of follow-up attack. I'm sure we'll be seeing Aventurine in the future. Okay guys, that's everything about super counters and counter team. And what do you think? Please leave your comment in the comment section below, and also don't forget to check out my another guide video. Thank you for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video.